All right, guys, welcome back to the episode of Robbie Sucks. Check out this video that I made throughout the week. So I would get off work and I would come home and I would just tinker for a little bit towards the end of the night. So yeah, this is what I put together. I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so now we're going to come back to removing things off of the engine. I think we're going to start with the intercooler today and possibly talk about some headlight options. We do have a new turbo setup going in this car, so I'm very excited on placement, and we may have to do a couple headlight deletes to make intakes. I don't know. I'm working with ideas. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. I may end up designing my own thing. Pretty excited, so we're going to jump into that. All right, guys, so we've got our, this is driver's side down tube for the intercooler removed right here. And then we have our passenger side with our blow-off valve. HKS, this is nice. This is real nice. Anyway, super cool, as you can see here. This is our other intercooler intake pipe with the blow-off valve. I had to cut the tube, but they were getting new tubes replaced anyway. This is just a piece of rubber. It's nothing great, as you can see right here. But other than that, this is pretty simple. It's going to be out of the way. Now it won't be in our way when we remove the motor. We're going to take off the turbo, and that should be about it of what's going to come off prior to me moving this engine. Okay, so let's talk about the headlights real quick. Because this is getting a new turbo, and it is going to be mounted facing forward, I do need to make some room. I may have to cut and reinforce one of the firewall here, so cut it and just make just a straight bar down here to give more room for the bigger turbo that's going in. But I also want to create more air induction. And how you do that, right? So if you know anything about these 94 Integras, they got this twin light setup, right? And this is on passenger side, right here, right? So you have your one vent lens here and the other lens here. So the turbo is pretty much going to sit right behind this light. So my thing is, I don't want to have to spend more money than I want or need to. And I know I can restore this lens. Like, I can take some lens restore kit and just make this look really good. But I also want to take this whole lens to the, the next level, the slide assembly. So we are going to go with LEDs, probably put a halo in there. Not entirely sure yet what I'm going to do, but that's not expensive. That's the cheap part. The part that I want to do is I want to cut this out. All right, I want to cut this out, and I want to retain this shape here on the back side, because I want this to fit in our new front clip that we're getting, and I want it to maintain its shape and kind of cone the air and port it into that turbo. So if I can mill this out and save this and take all of the guts out, don't need it anymore, pretty much just do a light delete and make this just an intake for the turbo, I think that would look pretty sharp. Obviously, we'll paint the whole thing because it's a gross ass color, but I think we can make that work. Maybe I just need to get a new lens. This one looks pretty busted now that I look at it. There's all these cracks here on the outside. You see that? I don't think I can restore that. That looks like crack and dry rot. I wonder. Well, I mean, it is a race car. I don't really need to have perfect lights. We'll see how well I can buff this out. If I can buff this out real well, then great. I don't want to destroy a new set of lights, though. I mean, maybe if I can find just the lens, which I'm sure I can find just the lens to replace it. Maybe I just buy new lenses and then take these out, paint the inside, and just replace it with LEDs instead of having the traditional halogens in there. Maybe we do that. But that's the plan here, is to mill this out, make an intake, and I'm going to do it on both sides because this Integra, it is getting a bigger motor, and it does have quite a bit of overheating issues, which is probably just due to the fact that I'm running an untuned B20 with a T4 on it that I installed straight from Japan into the motor and just never really tuned it. I was just gripping and ripping. And there's some days where I was like 9-10 pounds of boost. That's fine. That's about where the B20 with low compression should sit at. But then there was days where if I was gripping and ripping, I looked down and I was like, goo, 19, whoopsie. And then the Integra is now hashtag clouds, which is a true thing. So another reason why the B20 motor's coming out is because I got to replace head gaskets and check piston rings. So, to be young and dumb again. Future me hates past me. Now, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking, here is the new turbo. Take it all in. Love it. You love it. I love it. Now, I'm planning on putting it pretty much in the same location that the current turbo is sitting, right in here, if you guys can see it or not. But it's right here. So if I mount it in this way, that'll roughly put it, well, it depends on how far it goes, but it's probably going to end up sitting somewhere lower in here. And with this having the intake, this light being gone, there's more air coming in. And I like the idea of this having a little more breathing room. So this is, imagine this sitting about right here, right? And then it's got the filter in between here and here. And then there's just more breathing room coming in. Air coming through the intercooler, air coming in here. And we're now trying to suck in as much as we can. So that's the plan, to possibly do that. We may, well, I mean, we'll workshop it, right? I don't know if this is going to be its permanent location. We may actually have to top mount this, which I don't want to do. Although, it would look pretty sweet, just kind of, you know, you're racing, you see just a little cone and a bump coming out of the hood. I think that may be, you know, something else that we could talk to. But right now, it looks as if we're going to do same positioning as this one here, just forward mount it to where we can yeah, we'll forward mount it like this, so that way we're getting all this here. So this part right here, I may have to cut this out and just do a little more structuring here and try to reinforce this somehow behind it. But make this an air intake, have the turbo mounted right in here, facing this way, and then more air. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's just an idea. I'm kind of honestly just doing this as I go. So this is my, I wouldn't say my first import build. It's technically my third, but this is my first like real big overhaul, engine swap, bigger turbo, rocking and rolling. So more to come. Well, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Robbie Sucks. We talked about making the new intake light and removing that intercooler piping, and talk about placement. I'm interested to see like if you guys have any other ideas or any suggestions that I can do for like proper turbo placement. Again, this is me trying to build something better than, you know, what I already have. I do believe we're going to need a new manifold though to forward mount, which I've been looking online to see if there's anything prefab, but I also kind of want to take a stab at welding one myself. So yeah, more to come on it. Still ready to have this thing rocking and rolling. Like, subscribe, keep coming back to the channel.
Remember, it's okay to suck, just don't give up. And if you want to support the channel, hit up RobbieSexStore.com. I love you guys. Peace.